Hey guys, welcome
Hey
to another
man.
installment of Harry Potter Theory.
Gosh, you
In
have a
this
good
video,
voice.
we're going to be discussing The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Marauders, and Newt Scamander. Now, we know Newt Scamander
good.
as a lovable main character of the new Fantastic Beasts films. Newt is a famed magizoologist
those movies.
and the author
Hey,
of
the
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, a book outlining the study of magical creatures. The book has been described by Albus Dumbledore as follows. Newt's masterpiece had been an approved textbook at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry ever since its publication, and must take a substantial amount of credit for our students' consistently high results.
When Albus Dumbledore gives you the green stamp of approval,
Yet,
you know you
it is
did
not a
some
book
good
to be confined
shite.
to the classroom. No wizarding household is complete without a copy of Fantastic Beasts, well thumbed by the generations who have rifled through its pages in search of the best way to rid the lawn of hawklumps, interpret the mournful cries of the augury, or cure their pet Puffskin after drinking out of the toilet. Newt himself once described his profession as follows. I have visited lairs, burrows, and nests across 5 continents, observed the curious habits of magical beasts in 100 countries, witnessed their powers, gained their trust, and, on occasion, beaten them off with my traveling
Newt is
kettle.
such a great
We get to know
character.
Newt quite well in the new
Gosh,
Fantastic
I'm gonna
Beasts
miss him
films,
so much.
and there are many films still on the way.
Not
However,
anymore,
one
my
thing I
friend.
always found interesting was that Newt Scamander appeared on the Marauders map in The Prisoner of Azkaban.
That's like
And this
one of
was
the
way
biggest Easter eggs that's been around for so long. And that, like, what he's gonna say now, that was in 2007. Why did they plant them there? How was he there? Is he like one of the ghosts in Hogwarts? I don't know.
before we saw him on screen in Fantastic Beasts. So, what was Newt doing on the map? After all, Newt was expelled from Hogwarts long before Harry was even born. He attended
Isn't
the
he,
school from
like-
1908 to 1913.
Not with
The
us
Marauders
anymore
map
during
is
Harry's
described
time.
as follows. The magic used in the map's creation is advanced and impressive. It includes the homunculus charm, enabling the possessor of the map to track the movements of every person in the castle. And it was also enchanted to forever repel, as insultingly as possible, the curiosity of their
But
nemesis,
track the
Severus
movements of
Snape.
every person.
With all of that in mind,
Doesn't-
I
it
want to
doesn't even
explore
track
a
the
couple of
ghosts, if
popular
I
fan
remember
theories
correctly.
for why it is that Newt was actually on the map, and I'll give you my thoughts on both of them after I've briefly
So
introduced
he has
them.
to have been
Theory
there.
number 1 is that Newt was visiting Dumbledore.
He was there,
Newt
so
and
he was
Dumbledore were very close
alive
friends later in
during
life,
Harry's
and
time.
Dumbledore even once
Wow.
taught Newt. At the time that Newt was expelled from Hogwarts, Dumbledore was Newt's professor and tried vehemently to stop him from being expelled. They had quite a deep friendship, so it makes sense that Newt would go to visit an old friend. His book was even part of the Hogwarts curriculum. Theory number 2 is that Newt was on the Hogwarts grounds to help save Buckbeak. One of the key events of The Prisoner of
That
Azkaban
could
was
be
the
as
execution
well.
of Buckbeak the
Maybe
Hippogriff.
Dumbledore
It's
asked him for
completely
help.
reasonable to expect that Newt would take a special
That could
interest
be
in
actually
Buckbeak.
very good
Newt is a
theory.
lover of all animals, and Buckbeak's
Even the first one is very
unfair
good
sentence to
theory.
death
He
would
just
draw
named
his
his friend
attention.
Dumbledore.
Additionally, Newt's mother was a breeder of hippogriffs, so it would make perfect sense that he would be interested in this situation. Newt devoted his life to magical creatures, so it only makes sense that he would show up and try to stop the execution if possible. My own third theory was that Newt was at Hogwarts to visit his grandson, Rolf Scamander. Rolf was just a year younger than Harry and attended Hogwarts at the
That
same
makes
time as the
sense as
trio.
well.
In adulthood, Rolf would actually go on to marry Luna Lovegood.
That's why
But
I know
the main
that.
problem with all of these theories is that they assumed that Newt was still alive. Some sources
Wait, is he
state
not
that
alive?
Newt only lived until the year 1991 or 1992.
But you made
And
me
though
think
he
that I
lived a
was wrong
hearty
and that
and
he
full
wasn't
life,
alive.
This
That
would
he
mean
was
that he was
alive.
already dead by the time that Harry got his hands on the Marauders map. If Newt was in fact dead, then my only explanation for him showing up on the map was that he turned into a ghost. In the films, there are several instances in which ghosts show up on the map, so it
Okay,
makes
so I was
perfect
wrong.
sense.
So that
Those
would
who
make
decide
very
to
much
return
sense,
to the
yeah.
mortal world as a ghost do so because they have unfinished business. This prevents them from moving on to the next dimension. In Newt's case, if he became a ghost upon death, I would expect that it was because he had unfinished business of some sort, perhaps still searching for more creatures, or in the middle of researching a particular creature. He was so devoted to his work that I can really see him lingering around to see it through. If that isn't the case, then it must have really just been a little Easter egg that gave us a sense of what was to come in the Fantastic Beasts films.